good morning. Joe Deary, Powerful Improvements, Putnam, Connecticut. Today marks the beginning of a very long anticipated day for me. I'm going to start building out this rig, finally. I got it all completely stripped right now. There's not a single thing in it. I'm going to show you guys in a minute. And I'm going to start by mocking up all my equipment. And as I like it, we're bolting things down. Today is Friday. I'm anticipating washing with this thing on Monday. I got a roof to do. So I got a lot to do over the weekend to at least get it functional. May not be perfect, but we're gonna get it so that I can start working at least and then refine things as we go. And here we go. All right, so she's completely empty right now, except for that marine battery. Didn't bother moving that out, but the skid is completely empty. And we're gonna get some things put in there real quick. All right, so the very first thing I'm gonna do is replace this bent bracket. I showed you guys on a previous video. You can see this gap opens up. This thing got bumped or something in shipping. So this bracket right here that holds the motor is bent. Russ sent me a brand new one, all the hardware, and I'm going to put that on real quick and see what we get. Okay, I replaced that bracket, and that chain gear drive is still completely out of line, unfortunately, so didn't solve it. So I guess I'm going to be returning this reel. Has to be the frame itself that is actually bent, and that's too bad, but I can mock it up anyway, and I'll just use one of my old reels temporarily as the water inlet. That's what this one was going to be, so not the end of the world, just get it fixed. Okay, reel number one all mounted on there. Real happy with that. Just right in there, no extra space. Perfect. It's gonna give me more space between the reels up here. I'm gonna go about 8 inches between reels, and I got them lagged in there. Real nice. The lag bolt right there. Pre-drilled it, lagged it in, all 4 corners. Be nice and rugged. Doesn't want to move. Anyway, one done. Now I'm having some lunch. All right, number 2 on there, rugged as hell. Unfortunately, number 3 is getting a return, so it's not going there today. I think I'm gonna mount my old Titan reel there temporarily to run my 12 volt until the new one comes in. So now I'm going on the other side, mount those GP reels in the back over there. We got both GP reels mounted on there. This one's water, this one's high pressure. These are all set up with fittings from last year. I'm leaving it like that for now. These will be used for storage, but also if one of my electric reels goes down, I can run my system in the same manner as I've done in the past. So I'll be able to fill my Hudson tank with, my buffer tank with that one, just by swapping over if need be. Same thing with my high pressure line. If that electric reel goes bad or something, I can just jump my whip line over here and run off the driver's side of the truck like I used to do. I'm going to look for a gas tank now, see if I can get something that's going to fit the bill for me right in here. Get that strapped down. I put the Titan reel here for my 12 volt temporarily. I do have some roof washing that I want to do over the next couple days. So until I get my new electric reel in, this is a great solution. Lagged in, beautiful, not going anywhere. This is the motor over here with the crank. Okay, these are not wired in yet. That's my project for tomorrow. Okay, I'm going to the hardware store now. Like I said, look for a tank, and then I want to find some bracketry to drill into my skid so I can mount that 100-gallon tank with some straps. Got the Gen 2 all mounted in here where that's gonna go. So Gen 2 with the 2 pumps behind there, 7-gallon per minute fat boy in there. Battery's gonna go in here with a battery box, and that's it for right now. Saturday morning, got as far as I could yesterday. Gonna continue my build today, plumbing and wiring, and of course it's snowing, but at least it's not raining. I don't mind working in the snow. We'll see how far we can get today. Oh my God, it's been all friggin' day in the rain. Been waiting for the rain to stop. got a couple hours of work in. I managed to get these 2 electric reels wired up, and I'm going to show you how that's done. So first off, this doesn't need to be all that complicated. Follow the wiring diagram. It's not terrible. Okay, so what I did to make my life easy is I grounded the battery. Put this ground strap right here, right to my frame. Okay, so that grounds everything that's attached to the frame, to the battery. Everything's grounded. Okay, then I come power off of the battery to this 40 amp reset switch right here. So this, I don't know if you can see this or not, you got a little button here. Push that, this little lever comes up. That effectively breaks the circuit and turns this off. It's a 40 amp circuit in there. Okay, so I can turn the reels off by pushing this button. I'm going to run other auxiliary off of the same switch up here, so any kind of lighting or anything else I run, I can run off of here, so I can actually turn this off when I want to. Click it back down, it's on. Okay, so this power goes forward. Jump in the back here and show you. So then the power, I'm going to neaten all this, neaten all this wiring up. But power comes up to this first solenoid. Okay, right in here, this one, and then jumps off of this one again, comes down, and goes to the other solenoid. So just jump them along. All right, and then all of these reels are grounded right to their own framework. Okay, grounded to the frame, and then the frame is drilled into the skid, which is all grounded. So anything I drill into this skid now will be automatically grounded. Okay. So it makes it real easy. And let's go look at how they work. Here's a look at it from the front. So red wires are the power. So power comes to this one, and then comes to this one in the front here, then jumps off and goes back to the other one. And then the ground, the motor's grounded right here, right to the framework on the bottom. Push the button. Okay, here we go. Big boogies right out, man. Love it. Thrilled. Can't wait. Gonna get some hose on there tomorrow and reel it up. Good morning. It's Sunday, a little before 8 o'clock, and rained again most of the night last night, so everything's wet. And then the temperature dipped right down to about freezing, so we got this little bit of crusty ice on everything, but it's supposed to be a pretty decent day today. Gonna get more rain today, which has really set my build back, but that's okay. This morning I woke up and checked my YouTube channel, and we are just over 4,000 subscribers, and I just cannot believe that. It's awesome. We started our YouTube channel just over a year ago, put out my first video on February 19 last year. Today's the 29th. So in just over a year, we got 4,000 subscribers, and that's fantastic. And I thank you all for following, the positive comments. It's been a great experience in my business and life. Very thankful to have been a part of helping any of you start and grow your business and give you the courage to move forward and show you that, you know, this can be a pretty simple thing to do. So again, thank you all for your subscribing. We're very likely going to hit 5,000 subscribers by summer. I'm going to start doing a lot more video as we're washing, and I think that you know, the activity on the channel is going to increase. And when we hit 5,000 subscribers, we're going to do some type of real nice giveaway, some piece of equipment for somebody who needs it. All right, and I'm going to jump right in and get going on this. Okay, next step for me this morning is getting that big tank back there plumbed. You see, I put this metal bracketry in there, which is lagged directly into the beams right here, and then it spans across. It gives me some room to actually get a hook in there, and I'll be strapping that in there with ratchet straps. I'm not sure if this is going to be the permanent tank I set up with. I'm hoping to get some vertical tanks as the season moves on, but that's the tank we're starting with this season. And like I said, I'm getting ready to plumb that up. So it's going to go off the reel into a Hudson valve. So those of you that don't know what the Hudson valve is, it's like a toilet valve. It shuts the water on and off as your tank fills so it doesn't flood. Okay, it's like a float valve, much like a toilet. So you plumb it in. And this is the one I had in my tank last year. It still works, but as you can see, they get full of debris. And that's where I wound up at the end of the season last year. Okay, and this is the new one. So by comparison, you can see that debris does get in there from your client's water source, whether you like it or not, or from your hoses getting dragged through the yard, that kind of stuff. You wind up getting debris in there. So this year, I'm going to be plumbing this filter in. It's a nice 80 mesh screen in here. Okay, nice fine screen. Okay, everything's a little frozen this morning, so this is what I ran as my filter before my pressure washer last year, but I'm gonna put that in place to keep water out of the Hudson valve and water from going into the buffer tank. And then coming out of the tank, ahead of my pressure washer, I finally broke down and bought the nice banjo valve, or excuse me, banjo filter. So that's gonna go in line before my pressure washer. And we're gonna be putting a ball valve just ahead of that too, so I can turn it off, take the canister out, flush it, whatever I wanna do. So that's what I'm jumping into right now. I got holes cut in this tank from last year already, which I sealed up with just some duct tape over the winter. That's where my Hudson valve is going to fit right there. This goes on the inside, comes up in collars from the outside, okay? And you simply cut these holes in your tank with one of these doorknob type hole cutting saws. You can buy them at Lowe's or Home Depot. It's just a saw that you put on your drill, and you can auger out a cookie cutter like that any size you want. This is going to be the return hole for my pressure washer bypass. If we can get that off of there, I'll mess with that in a few minutes, but we're plumbing up the Hudson valve right now. So the bulkhead's installed, piece of cake. Now I just gotta reach inside the tank with this, okay? Right up onto here, fits that nipple in there. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. And then simply screw it in. Put the camera inside so you can take a look. What's that? Let's see if I can't see, but there it is on the inside. Hopefully you can see that. There we go. These contractor hoses are wicked stiff, and these brass fittings that have been on here since last year are not going to come off. It's not worth my effort. These hoses aren't cut to the right length for this new application anyway, so I found the best method is to simply cut these off with a hacksaw, and it's almost like cutting PVC. These things are so freaking thick. So many years ago, I bought this house 15, 16 years ago. One of the smartest things I did at that time was plumb hot and cold water outside. Makes it real convenient for washing your car, but also this hose had a little bit of ice in it and is now perfectly thawed. You can see I got hot water coming out over here. All right, I'm gonna fill this system now with hot water. Main reason being to soften up all these contractor hoses so that I can, you know, get these clamps nice and tight. Everything will be nice and warm, and we'll see how that goes. All right, I got all my filters in place. Hopefully these hoses are gonna soften up a little bit, so that'll flex into place for me better. This canister will come right off, no problem. It's all plumbed here to the banjo. Got the on and off valve here. I got it turned off right now because I'm gonna try to fill this tank. And then this whole thing comes off, and there's a canister screen in there. Also, you can just take this little nub off and flush this thing. So we're gonna be doing that quite often. I may put another fitting on here and run a hose behind over here so I can more easily just flush this thing out, but we'll see. And then I got it plumbed here, just off the back of the truck for now. So I'm gonna try to test all this plumbing out and see what we get. Given all the filtration that I have, I am gonna be eliminating all of these type of screens. I'm gonna take the one off of here, and I'm gonna probably take the one off at the pressure washer itself. Shouldn't need it with all the filters I have. This one I'm taking off specifically because I don't want debris getting caught here. It'll easily flow through everything I have and get caught in that canister filter. Because a lot of times I don't have the hose all the way reeled off of here, and if I'm plugged here, this will be super inconvenient to be taking off and checking. So I'm hoping to actually attach this hose to that and leave it there for the season. So that one's coming off right now. Right. Fresh rubber gasket in there. Time to hook up the hose. All right, moment of truth. Hot water on. I can hear water going in the tank. Let's see where else it's going now. Oh yeah, my canister is leaking. That's not unusual though, it just don't have that tight enough. Tighten this up a little bit. That stopped. No leak there. No leak there. Nothing there. No leaking here. No water here yet. Again, anybody who wants to see, put this camera in there without dropping it. That's some nice hot water. All right, we'll let that run for a few minutes and see what happens. So I got it all strapped in, simply attached to my steel ladder rack back here. Again, I'm not sure I'm keeping this set up, so this is temporary. We'll just strap right on there, and that's a pretty solid start. All right, so next up is placing that SH tank. That's gonna be my straight SH tank. I'm gonna put a soap tank on the side over here. I'm gonna try to probably leave that side open so that I can do my plumbing and 12 volt and access my reels and whatnot. And then the power washer is going to get placed right here. So that's the next thing we're working on. All right, that's my new 5.5 gallon on the Honda GX390. Pull start, did not go with the electric start. And very happy. This machine was like 1,600 bucks. Should make a big difference for me. It's got the GP pump on it. You see it already comes with oil in it. I got to change out this cap, the breather cap. That's very important. It's one thing a lot of guys miss initially is they don't take this off and then they wonder why they're having problems. But anyway, I gotta switch that out, fill it up with oil. This is not aiming in the right direction for me, so I gotta take some time here, take this off, turn it around. And I gotta figure out how I'm gonna reroute this. Get a plug for that end, and I'm gonna be sending that up into the buffer tank as a recirculator. This fitting also is not gonna work for my purposes, I don't think. Maybe if I adjust it a little bit, but anyway, I gotta turn this so the water intake is here. I'm coming from the side, can't come from the front because I don't have room up in there. So I'm gonna be working on that for a minute and then we're gonna get it placed. Brimming full tank, shut off all by itself, no leaking, pretty happy with it. Getting some of these first hoses up on here. Boy, that was easy. Okay, I got this power washer all in the way I want it. I want it taking and lagging directly into this beam right here on these 2 feet only, not lagging over there. This thing's not going anywhere, it's very heavy. That's sweet right there, okay? I got it all plumbed in with the water. Not ideal. I'm gonna be working out something a little bit different there. But I managed to find some couplers to make it work for myself. And eliminated the block on the bottom. There was a big piece of brass there, is gone. And then this unloader is one that I had on hand because the unloader that came with it had this funky angle And this freaking thing would not come off. Tried everything I could, put it in the vise, levered on it, beat on it, cannot get it off. So I'm gonna take it to a local machine shop and see if they can't get it off for me. I don't have a torch or anything to apply any heat to it or anything like that. Plus, I'm just done messing with it. So I wound up using another one that I had. It's got the exact same part number on it, VRT3, all the same specs, everything. So I'm very confident that that one is gonna work. Okay, I got it plumbed. I got the bypass plumbed back into my buffer tank. You can see that clear hose. I want to switch the barb out to the other side, and it's plumbed right into my tank. Okay, I like to drill these holes the exact same size as the hose. That thing, I got to really lever on. That thing's not coming out. I got to really lever on it. I had to force it in there, and it goes down in there about a good 18 inches so that it's into the water, and hopefully it doesn't create too many bubbles. And it's at the opposite end of my draw, so hopefully I'm not going to create any cavitation. All right, I put my breather in here for my pump oil, and we just filled it up with motor oil right there. I put a little bit of gas in here, not much because I'm still going to plumb this tank at some point. All right, and let's see, very first time starting it up, and that's in the on position. Okay. And let's see, fuel is on, choke is on, we got it throttled up. Get off my tailgate here. Let's see what we get. Alright. Alright, strong leak. Water in the back there already. Let's see what that's all about. Leaking water right there already. Right there. One squeeze. I'm already leaking right there. So I'm gonna try to tighten that up a little bit, see what that does. I'm over here with Patrick Deary. This is the end of the day, and in editing my video to upload, I realized that I kind of missed a spot here, and I had swapped in a different unloader hoping to line things up correctly, and it didn't work out at all. Thing wouldn't make pressure. I don't know what's wrong with it. Wound up frustrated, and I had to take it out and put the old one back in. So that's what you're gonna see next. All right, you see this ridiculous angle here. Puts this right into the space where I need my tank to be, so I can't even have the tank in there right now. Thankfully I've got a smaller tank or two. Might be able to fit a 30 gallon in there and get me through for the first couple washes, but that's not gonna work out for me. And then I had to put the bypass on, keep it on the side it came on because this plug won't come out. Thankfully I got enough line to make that happen. So now I'm gonna try to start it back up again and see what happens. We got water. So that's the wind. I'm gonna few things down and make some adjustments. You can see the action on the tank here and the water flow inside there. This thing's recirculating like mad, working perfectly. That 30 gallon container fits in there pretty much perfectly, gives me what I need to get by. I am rapidly running out of daylight here. It's mid-afternoon. I've got a roof wash that I'm doing tomorrow, and unfortunately the proportion is not going to be ready to go or anything like that, so we're going to batch mix with the Gen 2. So I'm going to be hooking that up here in a sec, and I'm going to be making myself a nice 5-6% batch in that 30 gallon. I've got 15 gallons of straight shock, which was given to me by the pool store at the end of the season last year. I'm gonna put all 15 in that tank, fill it up with water, add some roof snot, put my 12-volt drop stick in there, get this thing primed up, get it recirculating nice and mixed, and we'll see how we're doing. All right, I'm calling that done for the day. I've got a functioning rig, power washers hooked up, working efficiently. I got 30-gallon container here, which I'm going to top off at the job tomorrow for a roof wash. I got the 100-gallon tank all plumbed in the back with the recirculator off the power washer. Got some roof snot on board. I got a bucket to hold my drop sticks, etc., because I'm currently batch mixing until I get my proportioner set up with my new electric hose reel. So this is the Gen 2 setup, same as it was last year. Manual crank. Again, I'm not mounting any of this stuff permanently in here until I get that new reel set up. So we're batch mixing for one more day or a few more days until that new reel comes in, and that's okay. I'm happy enough with the progress for the day. I'm gonna get that marine battery charged and it'll be good to go. All right, that's a good 3 days work for me, intermittently between the rain. I'm exhausted, but I got everything on there that needs to be on there. So I got a functioning work rig now. I got the 12-volt done. I got 200 feet of power line on there. I got my 100 feet of garden hose on there. My new lettering on the truck, which I'm thrilled with. Everything's working the way it should. I got my auxiliary lines on there. I got 150 feet, or excuse me, I think that's about 100 feet. I think those are two 50-foot sections of Flexzilla, another extra 50-foot section of power line. I got Ruby ready to go for a ride. We're gonna go get something to eat. I got everything I need back here. It's a little bit of a mess, but I'm gonna be buttoning up details as we go. But for now, I got the major thing done, which was a functioning wash rig, so I can start my season tomorrow on time, March 1st, and I'm ready to go. I'm gonna be making a video tomorrow of my roof wash, and then I picked up 3 more jobs this weekend, so we got a lot of washing to do. I got about 25 on the schedule already this year, so March is gonna crank. That's why we need to have this thing set up and going. So we'll catch you guys again soon this week. Again, thank you everybody for liking and subscribing, and much appreciated.